Good morning, fellow readers. It is Thursday, the 23rd of May. I'm back on the bike again. Thank the heavens for that. And today I've got some talking to do about Philip K. Dick's The Man in the High Castle, which I finished just recently. It was pulled by you for me to read. And yeah, thanks for that. So much I can say already. Was an amazing read. This book was first published in 1962, and it founded the genre of alternative history. Alternative history because it imagines another world, a world in which the Axis powers won. And Japan and Nazi Germany, they invaded the United States of America, and they partitioned the North American continent under their power and influence. It is a frightening tale, and it is horrifyingly realistic at times. There's a whole anthropological side to it, which I didn't expect. So let me talk about some of the characters here. We have Robert Childan, and Mr. Childan, he's the owner of a shop for memorabilia, souvenirs in San Francisco, which are in high demand by the emerging Japanese ruling class. They have a strange affection for American culture, post-war culture, and they even take American names. But as I said, it's anthropological at times. And Mr. Childan, he meeting a young Japanese couple who's interested in his items. He soon discovers that they kind of from a perspective of dominance, that they belittle American culture and they just imitate it. They want former American items as decorations for their flats and apartments, and he makes a living selling those items in need. For example, guns from the Civil War. But soon it is described that this is a kind of bubble that might be about to burst. And here we enter the next character, which is who is Frank Frink. Frank Frink, he's a very interesting character because he loses his job. He's in manufacturing, he's good with handcrafts, and he soon begins to forge these sought after by the Japanese items, which causes problems for Mr. Childan. He is also a Jew in hiding, and they are somewhat tolerated under Japanese authority, but they always could deliver him to Nazi-dominated territory, and that would be his immediate end. We also meet Mrs. Juliana Frink. She is Frank's wife. She's in the Nazi territory. She broke up with Frank, tries to make a living for herself, and this exciting new novel fell into her hands. It is called The Grasshopper Lies Calm or Silent or something. And The Grasshopper is an outstanding work of fiction by author Hawthorne Abenson. Now this is an interesting twist. This novel, which is banned in Nazi territory, it describes a world in which the Nazis and the Japanese lost the Second World War to the Americans, the French, the British, the Allied powers. Sounds familiar to you? Well, it is familiar, but it's also different. The characters in this book, they are kind of addicted to this work, plays an important role. And Juliana, she meets a man seemingly of Italian descent, and they start a quest to find this author, Mr. Arbenson, in his high castle. So that's where the name of the novel comes from, The Man in the High Castle. There's also Mr. Baines and Mr. Tagomi. They play a somewhat meta role because in the background there's always like what's happening between those two superpowers, between the Japanese and the Reich, the Third Reich under Chancellor Bormann, because Hitler, he's described as ill and somewhat shut off from what's happening, seemingly very old, as the novel is set to play, I think, 15 to 20 years after 1945, might even be in 1962, the year in which the novel was finished, though I'm not sure right now about this. Yeah, the Germans, they see the Japanese as a lesser and somewhat backward culture, because the Germans, they made incredible technological gains. They are on the moon and they even set foot on Mars. They are about to colonize the solar system. There's also very, very dark sides in this novel. Like, for example, after finishing up with the Jews, the Holocaust is continued in Africa. So there you have it. When the Nazis are allowed to exist, they will always find the next group to exterminate. Yeah, and well, there's somewhat in the beginning a brutally and frightening page about the Holocaust in Africa, where they mention that they cannibalize even the African people and use their bones. It's disgusting. And they also dried up the Mediterranean Sea and turned it into farming land. Now this is an idea that I know from Dan Simmons' Olympus novels. Yeah, he might have it from Dick, this idea. So after all, this tale has no definite ending. It kind of ends in the middle of everything. And I'm sure, because I haven't seen it, but I can only imagine that the Amazon Prime series, which is based on this novel, is only loosely based on the novel, because the novel is more about certain perspective chapters giving you a view into this frightening world. It is about setting the mood and the tone, and those few glimpses we get of the world Philip K. Dick imagined here, they are incredibly dense and detailed, so I was really impressed. There's only a few times I have met this level of anthropology in science fiction by reading Ursula K. Le Guin or by reading C.J. Cherryh, who I must confess I have read only a single novel so far, but yeah, it was a challenge, I have to admit, but it was also quite cool. So I'll stop here. Philip K. Dick, The Man in the High Castle, a science fiction masterwork for sure, and that's also the edition I bought when I was in Amsterdam book hunting. Very glad to have read it. Next one is Lee Child, Jack Reacher, number 5, Echo Burning. Already about 150 pages or so in. Jack Reacher, always reliably good suspense and action novels. Expect the audioblog soon. These books read very fast. Alright, that's it for now. If you made it to the end, give the thumbs up. Maybe subscribe or even leave a comment. How about that? That would be amazing. Alright, bye bye.